For drivers with toll bill issues, now there are some new laws addressing the E-ZPass debacle. For more than a year now, WMAR 2 News' Mallory Safaste has been on top of this issue, from the backlog in processing tolls to the lengthy call center wait times. Lawmakers have seen her reports, they've taken action, so she now has more on which bills made it through the General Assembly and how they'll impact you, because if it matters to you, it's a matter for Mallory.
This all stems from a 7-month pause in processing tolls caused by new software and the pandemic. The Maryland Transportation Authority then had to catch up on millions of backlogged transactions. Drivers are still receiving bills from over a year ago, but the thousands of dollars in penalties are being waived temporarily. Cashless tolling keeps traffic moving, but the billing came to a complete stop. Last spring, the MDTA resumed processing of deferred tolls, and drivers were sent stacks of charges, many facing late fees for thousands of dollars.
It's $4,000 in late fees.
Call centers were overwhelmed. The pandemic impacted staffing.
Your estimated wait time to speak to a customer service representative is 138.25 minutes.
At one point, 60 agents managed over 100,000 calls in a month. In December, lawmakers asked the MDTA what they were doing in response.
I was looking at a WMAR article. One of the things that I think about is, what is the contractual obligation of the contractor? How many employees that they submit when they put out the bid, when they put out the RFP?
The agency still hadn't taken action at the start of the year, so lawmakers introduced a series of bills. Under pressure from the General Assembly and public, the MDTA board approved a customer assistance plan at the end of February, giving customers till midnight on November 30th to pay their tolls without any penalties. Senate Bill 59, which received unanimous support in both the House and Senate, codifies the plan. It requires the MDTA to waive penalties for late toll bills through the November 30th deadline, plus reimburse and notify drivers who paid those penalties in error and report that information back to the General Assembly by December 1st. But it doesn't force the agency to make the plan retroactive and reimburse drivers who already paid penalties. We requested an interview with Transportation Secretary James Ports or MDTA Director Will Pines. Both declined. And an MDTA spokesperson would not clarify their interpretation of when a penalty is paid in error, just that the MDTA will review on a case-by-case basis to determine eligibility for reimbursement.
So when I talked to the director of MDTA, he acknowledged that when they call that they're getting a refund. But one of the things is that I would say to any of my constituents in the 45th District, Marylanders as a whole, if you have a challenge with MDTA when you make that call after you get that notification with getting that reimbursement, please reach out to your legislator, or you can reach out to myself.
There have been significant improvements since the plan went into effect. Call wait times are down to a few minutes. Call agents are up to 247. But the agency is reminding drivers their goodwill has an expiration date.
I think it's really incumbent on us to keep reminding the public, and quite frankly, keep reminding the press.
And the legislature.
And yes, and the legislators, that we went above and beyond, and but there is an end date to that.
Two other E-ZPass bills passed the General Assembly. One gives the MDTA the ability to recall delinquent accounts from the Central Collection Unit, and the other gives drivers a year to dispute charges. However, that law would expire at the end of June next year. And it's important to note these three bills aren't law just yet. Governor Hogan can sign the bills, let them go into law without signing, or veto the bills. For WMAR 2 News, I'm Mallory Safaste.
And we still don't know how many drivers paid penalties before they were waived in February. The MDTA has not yet provided this information to us or legislators, but if you're one of these people, you'll want to take out your phone, open your camera, and scan that QR code there on your screen, which will take you to Mallory's report and the phone number to call if you want to have your case reviewed. And if you have a matter for Mallory, she would like to hear from you. You can email her at mallory@wmar.com or find her on Facebook and on Twitter.